What is consciousness? Where is the seat of consciousness? Is consciousness just a part of reality? Or is reality pure consciousness? Consciousness is one of the most familiar, and yet, one of the least understood aspects of existence. Consciousness needs to be understood in all its aspects, and in complete integration with reality. And not only in relation to our brain. There is a striking difference between Eastern and Western views on consciousness. In Western culture, the normal waking state is assumed as being conscious. Here, consciousness is the state of being aware of and responsive to one's surroundings. One way of viewing consciousness is as a spectator sitting inside the head, watching what's going on in the world, as if it were a movie. However, in Indian traditions, consciousness is viewed in a fully different way. The wakeful state represents the lowest state of consciousness. According to Indian philosophy, there are 4 states of consciousness: waking state, dreaming state, deep sleep, and the superconsciousness state, called Turiya. Individual consciousness, in its lower state, is the waking state. In this state, the individual is mostly body conscious. It is usually difficult to transcend this state consciously. The next state of consciousness is the dream state. Here, the impressions are all mental. Body consciousness is mostly replaced by mental configurations. The next higher state of consciousness is deep sleep. Here, the body and mind are both inactive. Free from body and mental activity, consciousness reaches a higher level. The 4th state is Turiya, or pure consciousness. It is possible to experience this state of non-being, as it is the nature of consciousness itself.
Now, it's only Indians and the Buddhists, from Indians, I would say, believe in the non-being. They believe there's a non-being, being and non-being. What is that state of non-being? When you become the non-being, means when you go beyond your conditioning and ego, then you become the non-being. And once you become the non-being, then nothing can touch you. That state has to be achieved as a non-being. It's the 4th dimension. This is called also in Sanskrit as Turiya Vision.
How can one rise to this higher awareness, called the 4th dimension?
This can be very easily achieved through this happening where this power of Kundalini has to rise. It's like a premium in a seed. It's a living process. As you can put a seed in the Mother Earth, it sprouts by itself, spontaneously, Sahaj. Sa means born, Ja. Sa means with, and Ja is born. It is born with you, this power, to attain this higher level of awareness, which in Sanskrit we call it as Kriya, or you can say the 4th dimension of awareness. It's not at all difficult. We are all capable of getting it. Only thing we have to have earnest desire to do. And this power which you see in the triangular bone, in the sacrum, exists within you. This is the power which is going to give you your ascent. This power is called as the Holy Ghost in the Bible, as Asa Sit Quran, and in Adi Shakti as in the Indian scriptures. This power resides within you, recording all your past and your desires. This is the power which is going to give you the fourth dimension.
Once Kundalini, the residual consciousness of the divine, is awakened and connected to the all-pervading power, the spiritual growth into the fourth dimension begins.
So this Kundalini, which is your residual power of ascent, has to rise to give you your self-realization. That's very, very important and vital, not only to you but to the divine. And that's why it is anxious that you should reach that position where you become non-being. So the fourth dimension is that of, we can say, the zero, where you start going towards the absolute zero. Like in the physics you have got minus 273, in the same way you start going towards that. There you form a line with the divine. There is a line establishment with the divine. You start seeing who is the creator, who is the doer, while you are the instrument. You become the non-being and he becomes the creator.
When one reaches the fourth dimension, one becomes a collective and universal being. This is similar to the way atoms behave near absolute zero, by losing their individual identities and fusing into a single super-atom. When atoms are cooled down due to their quantum nature, they start to behave as waves. They create a new state of matter, called a Bose-Einstein condensate, and form a single, collective, quantum wave.
But you can see it even in the helium gas. When the helium is cooled down, the atoms of helium which were attacking each other were violent suddenly become collective. So that shows that absolute zero is the zero of the spirit.
In conclusion, to reach this new dimension of collective consciousness, one has to become the spirit. Neither inward turned, nor outward turned consciousness, nor the two together. Not an undifferentiated mass of consciousness. Neither knowing, nor unknowing. Invisible. Ineffable. Inconceivable. Indefinable. Its sole essence being the consciousness of its own self. This is the Atman, the self. This is to be realized.